Hi, I'm Brandon Guthrie, Marketing Director, Durasein.
I'd love to introduce my next guest, Brandon Guthrie, Marketing Director at Durasein. Brandon, why don't you share with us not just your own personal journey, but how you got here today and a little bit about Durasein?
So, my journey with Durasein started 6 years ago, activating the brand in the United States and rebranding from the purely manufacturing business we were before. So, the brand has been around for close to 20 years, working with some of the largest in the solid surface industry. And we want to set out on our own and build a brand from the ground up, launching products not only in the United States, but globally.
Brandon, why don't you share with us a little bit about Durasein? Uh, please tell us the types of products you make and where these are actually installed in terms of segments across this industry.
So, Durasin manufactures a pure acrylic solid surface. We have for over 20 years. The product is primarily installed, I'd say in the United States, 90% commercially, so in segments like hospitality, healthcare, retail, etc. One of our largest markets is in healthcare at the moment. There's been a big boom in healthcare renovations and looking for safe and healthy surfaces post COVID. So we're seeing a big influx on that side of things.
Now, you guys started very early with us and are now part of both Material Bank US as well as Material Bank Europe. I'd love to understand when you started with us first in Material Bank US, launched about 6 years ago, what was it that you went through and saw? What made you join Material Bank North America at that time?
So, our brand at its core, we feel as though designers need the tools to help them save time and save effort on a day to day basis. And Material Bank fit perfectly in with that brand value. It's something that we've executed not only with Material Bank, but several other tools. And Material Bank stuck out from the beginning. You knew the design community, you knew the media avenues to speak to that design community, and we've seen nothing but success with Material Bank from the beginning.
Now, when you launched on Material Bank, share with us the early days and what that progression looked like. Talk to us a little bit about what that sales process looks like, a little bit about your rep structure, just so that the community who may not know you well start to learn more and more about you.
So early days in Material Bank, we saw an instant uptick. It matched what our website was doing in terms of lead generation and connection to the A&D audience almost instantly. So within months, we were seeing samples requests roll in, and then we started building, like you mentioned, a rep team, and that is probably the most important piece of this. And if I could extend that advice to other brands, is Material Bank is an amazing tool, but what you truly need to make that tool as successful as it can be for you is to build a rep team that understands the architect and designer world, that understands their problems, that helps them solve those problems. So, we quickly knew that we would have to continue to invest in the human side of this and make specifications a core to what we do on a day to day basis.
Now, you guys organized very quickly. At what point did Material Bank go from equaling the number of leads that were coming from your website to becoming the majority of leads for you on the A&D segment of your business?
Yeah, I would say within 6 to 8 months. And as we keep in mind, Farshid, so we're a young brand, so the investment in Material Bank came alongside an investment into our brand as well. So we may have a unique story in that way. So Material Bank and our brand have done this. They've jostled for that majority position. But when you're speaking about the A&D audience specifically, yes, it is a definitely a majority on the A&D side.
And during that 6 to 8 months, you continued, I'm sure, as I recall, you've been investing in other avenues for leads. Share with us the other avenues that you invest in and unbiased, let us know, how does Material Bank compare to these other paths?
Along the way, anytime something pops up, whether it is a sampling platform or a information hub, we invest in those.
And just specifically, how has Material Bank compared in terms of the quality of leads first and then the quantity of leads afterwards when you compare us to any other source that you may have experienced?
Well, the quantity is higher, and I think that's due to Material Bank's obvious connection to the audience, right? through the Sandow Media Group. You guys truly understand the audience and the dissemination of information to that audience. So definitely higher. In terms of quality, I'd say the vetting process that you guys have in place allows for that quality to be inherent. And it's something that we really value because it saves specification reps time on the other side. Instead of having to vet the leads, they know they're already vetted, they know they're already quality leads.
Tell me, how do you utilize Material Bank, particularly our data, for making decisions inside of Durasein?
So the way you guys break things down by category, break things down by product, and seeing what products are skewing in popularity, what is popular within our competitive set, does just help with that added data point and keeping their voice at the table because that's the hard part. Is what's important to us is allowing the architects and designers a voice at the table and letting us know as a manufacturer what we can do better, what products we can bring to the table, what problems are they experiencing on a day-to-day basis that we can help solve. And it's helped us with our newest product introduction that's coming out later this year. It's along with material bank and focus grouping, it gave us for the first time as a manufacturer truly since our brand launched insight into what architects and designers are truly looking for versus what we think they're looking for, which I think is a really important distinction.
So how would you describe Material Bank in terms of ROI? And has it provided you with a significant return in your view?
Yes, 100%. And it's your team has done a wonderful job working with us on a white glove bespoke level, how to integrate that into our CRM, to dive deeper into ROI and to sync that up with what we want to do from a sales perspective. So yes, from an ROI perspective, Material Bank's been an amazing investment for us, and it's, as I mentioned, given us a much deeper insight into where we should be spending our money, where we should be advertising. It's given us a lot of information that we just didn't have before. And it's leveled that playing field for us in terms of allowing us a seat at the table to punch above our weight with our larger competition. I'll put it that way.
Brendan, if a brand comes to you and they're considering joining Material Bank, many are apprehensive, they're not sure. What would you say to them about the experience on Material Bank and how long they should take for them to see some forms of success if they are just joining the platform?
Well, my instant feedback to a brand is just do it. Um, if your gut is telling you you need to be on Material Bank, do it. From a timing perspective, patience is important. You'll see results immediately from a sampling perspective. I would almost guarantee it. The beauty with Material Bank is since it's a trusted platform, it has all the information these architects and designers need. It makes that activation period a lot quicker than, hey, we need to launch a website. Hey, we need to launch this. Hey, we need to launch that. You launch on Material Bank, I mean, it's instant, and it has all the information and the ability to sample that is unmatched really in the industry.
Thank you for those kind words. And so we went from starting with you guys at the initial get go. You came on to Material Bank. You started to see immediate success. I want to describe, you joined Material Bank Europe as well. What led to that decision and how has that gone for you guys so far?
What led to the decision and made it very simple for us was the success we've had in the United States, and launching in Europe has its own unique set of challenges. It's a different ecosystem for each country versus in the United States. Our approach can be very similar from coast to coast. There's not a lot of different variables, but in Europe there are. And we wanted a trusted partner to launch with in Europe that would help us navigate those challenges and would hopefully lead to quicker success than we experienced in the United States. We had a lot of faith in Material Bank, and we continue to.
That's incredible. So now we're around the globe together, and I think the last time we sat down, we were in Chicago, going through and just taking a step back and looking at the success that's been at hand. Uh, I want to get a sense for this audience. What surprised you about Material Bank being with us, U.S., Europe, global basis? What surprised you?
One, we have an amazing account manager that listens anytime there is a problem because inevitably it's business. Problems come up. Material Bank has an amazing team that as soon as something comes up and our specifications manager needs to get on the horn, our account manager Cassie is immediately there. She's on top of it, and we've experienced similar in Europe. So I think from a business perspective, I'd say that's it: is having a team at Material Bank that listens, collaborates, and like I mentioned, on the CRM side, you guys were willing to adapt how you did things for us and get things into our CRM and help with challenges as they arise, because they inevitably always do.
Big shout out to Cassie Gorvetsian. She's an incredible team leader. She's been here with us for a very, very long time. I want to touch on sustainability. Sustainability is a very important aspect for this community. You guys certainly have an underlying story to tell there. Share with us the story there.
Yeah, it is. It's important, and Material Bank has given us, like I mentioned, the data points of, hey, we need to invest further into sustainability because it's an important conversation. But until you are talking to architects and designers at the scale that we are now talking to them at, you don't know. On the manufacturing side, it's important, but you don't know how important, where you should lay that on your level of priorities. So our specifications manager, every team call we have, it's a point that's brought up and talked about, and how can we improve this? We're already doing things, and we're already making sure we're applying for certifications that architects and designers are looking for. How do we improve things at our plant? How do we recycle water? How do we recycle energy? It's just given us more insight into how big a part sustainability plays with architects and designers on a daily basis.
The community, both in the US as well as Europe, Material Bank is always showcasing some of your most amazing collections and SKUs. If someone is learning about your brand for the first time, what are the products or collections you would suggest they take a look at today?
Today, it would be our Dreamy collection, which is a marble look solid surface. So it's an innovation in that way. It's only been something that's been around for a few years. Probably, say 2020 was the first time you started seeing true marble or quartzite looks in solid surface. So our Dreamy collection showcases that. And I'm excited to say we're going to be expanding that collection. We'll have 6 new additions this fall coming out in the United States.
Fantastic. And talk to us a little bit about the colors, sizes, patterns that you guys have capabilities of.
Sure. So colors and patterns is almost infinite. So in solid surface, we can match any Pantone, but in the United States, we stock 10 flats. So you're talking reds, purples, blacks. And then we have particulate or terrazzo look colors, as well as the marble looks I just mentioned. And then some of our best work in the last 20 years has been in veining and movement inspired by nature. So a lot of wood looks.
Brandon, on behalf of the entire team, Material Bank North America, as well as Material Bank Europe, I want to thank you, your incredible leadership. Thank you for all of the support.